so that's all good now. Yes. Okay, good. Whew. Not gonna lie, I was a little worried that I was on a different map, so I was like, wait, what map am I on? Am I about to show something accidentally?
I've been there. Yep.
But anyways, with our last session, the four of you had stayed around in Taka, did a little bit of investigative work to find out exactly what was the cause of the attack on the capital. And after doing so, ended up going ahead and spending some time afterwards, once finding out the king had made a deal that he should not have, uh, that you had to go ahead and track down a man named Shava, who was staying within the diplomats' quarters of the city and seemed to be fleeing uh, during once the attack had happened. He was located finally in Midshire through divination magic that Torin had later told Vagrim through a sending. And now you find your way up the road and then cutting through basically not a directly like laid out path, but a path that is slightly well traveled. From what you can tell, a lot of people end up making the cut over from that turn just to get to Midshire, unless they're going on up to Starmire, in which case they just keep following the road. So you followed this path, and you're at this point, because if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you decided to take a long rest there at the end of the last session, correct?
That would be
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're taking refuge in Vagrim's tiny hut.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. The tiny hut made its appearance. Uh, which I'm actually very happy I was able to message you about that afterwards, Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Wizard things.
All the wizard things.
But as of right now, you are all currently in camp. At this point, you know, based on distance, anybody here can go ahead and make a perception check real quick.
Oh, I'm good at those.
I am not.
I can't remember if I.
Jesus Christ,
Holy,
Salix.
yeah, no kidding, Salix.
Okay.
Jeez, +8 on that, and it was a 26. Oh
Well,
my.
then my roll was better.
Oh, that was really good. Actually, both of you rolled the same. Both of you rolled an 18.
Oh, that's true.
Both of you rolled 18 on the die. So Salix and Sailfim, both of you would know where you are at in camp at this point. You are about 2 hours or so out still from Midshire.
Okay. Okay.
So where are we at in the long rest? Have we just finished it?
Um, if I remember correctly, you all kind of chugged through a good portion of the night and were kind of taking it there closer towards the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah, and we
correct?
were gonna exactly. Yep, and we were gonna
Okay.
just make sure we're keeping an eye out since we had some entities looming
Yeah,
around.
entities that were discovered. Um, so with that, we will say it's the start of your long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
With this party in particular, I know the the idea of who's taking watch is not exactly something that's hard to come by because of the fact that we have someone who doesn't need to sleep,
Right.
two people who need to sleep for only like 4 hours, and then Salix, which I want to say yours is 6. Is it 6 or
Yeah, mine's 6.
Yeah,
but I'm not unconscious.
yeah. So 6 hours maximum, like, there's always gonna be at least one person up. Um, so I will say, uh, Vagram, go ahead and just give me a perception check, kind of as a throughout the morning and everything. Since you know these entities are there, I will say you have advantage.
Okay, give me one moment. Hey, that's not too bad. Jesus, with only a +1, I'll take the 20, dirty 20.
Yeah. Okay, so knowing that they're there, and especially after your role of knowing what quicklings are, you know what to look out for. So you're kind of watching out for these as well as different Fae because of the fact that there was a heavy Fae presence in general. So you do try to watch out for a lot of more of the illusory and trickery uh, type of abilities and magic. You don't seem to find any of it though. There's some where it's like it's a ways out, it probably doesn't see you, and from what you end up seeing afterwards, it ends up going off to a different direction. But it all seems to end up staying maybe an hour's travel at most outward from the forest line here of the Moonlight Forest.
Okay. I'll make sure that I stay vigilant, and kind of keep my eyes peeled while still going about my normal zombie care routine. But yeah, besides that, I won't try to alarm anybody, especially since I had done the contact other plane at the tail end of last session and gotten some gleaning info on just how nasty these little pricks could be if it is what I think they are. So we'll just kind of leave it alone and let those who need to rest rest.
Sounds good. But yes, beyond what was said, for the most part, the rest goes by fairly uneventful. Uh, and thankfully for you, this is a little bit of a flat plane. So to give you an idea, since you did roll a 20, um, like I said, it goes about maybe an hour's worth of travel out from the forest that you're seeing the kind of fey influence and presence and everything, but it doesn't go out farther than that. You, based on knowing about where that is, guess you're about 2.5 hours maybe out from the edge of the forest.
Okay.
And with it being really nice and flat, kind of plains area here, that really is what's helping your sight more than anything else.
Okay, perfect. We'll just maintain as best as we can as far as our comfort inside of the dome, and I'm just gonna await, any of them who begin to stir. I'm just gonna kind of give them the old swap out, the old tag out.
Alrighty. So, as we know, unfortunately, Rose is not here currently. Uh, we will say she goes ahead and takes uh, the first watch. She will be joining us later on, everyone. Um, but she will go ahead and take the next watch, which also goes by pretty uneventfully. Uh, Selphine, right there at the tail end or so of that, or actually about midway through that, is where you would end up stirring to wake from your trance.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last little bit?
Um, because if I remember correctly, Selphine, you are Elven, correct? Elven, half
Half
Elven.
elf. Yep.
Yep. Uh, so it would be about midway through um why am I having a hard time remembering the character's name now? Estelle. About
Ooh.
halfway through
Oh.
Estelle's watch there during the little swap out with Vagram is when you would begin to go ahead and kind of awaken from your trance.
Okay. Yeah, so um as soon as she's awake from her trance, she'd go through her morning ritual of praying, something that they're used to seeing by now, I'm sure. It's nothing weird. It's literally she just kind of um sits on her heels and does a quiet, silent prayer to herself. Um, she'll look around and see that the sloth still still needs rest. So she'll just kind of perch and just give a nod over to Bagger.
Does she ever take the porcelain mask off?
She does not.
Never. We've never seen her take it off. None of her ritual. Does she okay, weird question. Does she like clean under it ever, or is she just a nasty
You
fuck?
haven't seen her clean under it,
Okay, so
but
she's
she
just a
doesn't
nasty
bathe in
fuck.
front of you either.
Well, yeah, no, it's not like Vagram would be like, hey,
Right.
you
but
look like
but
you
she
need a bath.
she's very private. It's funny because she wears probably the least amount of clothing of all the party members. But she's very
Mm,
modest in that regard where she if it's time to bathe or shower, she doesn't just pop in to a tub with everybody. She goes and does it on her
I'm on a mission to watch you clean under your mask now. I don't need you to take it off. I just need to make sure that you're staying healthy. Joke's on us, she doesn't have a fucking jaw. It's just like an
own.
open skeleton. Like, oh,
she
the
just looks like
mask
that
back
one
on.
Mortal Kombat character under the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh god, yeah,
God,
I
she
know what
has
you're
one of
talking
those
about.
mouths like Melina.
Yeah, yeah.
Melina,
Melina,
that's the
that's the
fucking
one.
name. Oh my god. That's wild.
It is. That's hilarious.
Alright, sorry, I hijacked that,
Oh
but
man.
No, that's funny.
Oh no, that's great. That's great. I love it.
Headcanon.
Headcanon until we know otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's what she would be doing. She'd be kind of just waiting out the rest of the rest. Um keeping to herself and yeah.
All right. So let me think here. And that. So okay, so as the swap out would have happened with you and Rose, Rose would have ended up going into her trance at that point. So it would be 2 hours after you awoke that Salix would be good.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're 6, then yeah.
Math is hard with this group because two of them are 4 hours and one of them 6 hours and
Math in my math-based RPG.
oh man. But so at the end of the long rest here, because you were starting it closer to the morning, so we'll call it about midday at this point.
okay. I'll get up and go about as soon as dawn comes, I'll go ahead and get all the zombies out, cast my animate dead on the group of them to keep them going for another 24 hours, and yeah, that'll be my early morning routine.
Ooh, do you store them in your bag while they're animated?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're alive and walking around inside the bag, and then I pull them all out, and then I make them stand in a circle and hold hands, and then I stand in the middle, and I do the animate dead, and it kind of gives them a little jolt, and they kick their heels a little bit, and a little flesh falls off, and back in the bag.
And I'm looking forward to high level.
Oh man.
Can wizards create demiplane, or is that cleric things?
I don't know. Never needed a demiplane.
Yeah, I was about to say, now I'm trying to think on.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not sure.
I'll just, create demiplane plus gate can be instant army.
Oh, good lord, yeah, that could. But that would also mean blowing an 8th and 9th level spell to go ahead and pull that off.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm looking for lower to high level.
I'm looking forward to trying to figure out how to put this fucking infernal engine in your chest, because I want to see what happens.
Have you tried asking?
Yeah,
No.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
You'll get there eventually. By the way, is that something Vagram would have been thinking about throughout the long rest?
What's that? Demiplanes?
No, the infernal core and how that might work with
Oh,
sailors.
fuck yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay,
I've been taking desperate amounts of notes about not only Salix, but trying to figure out how to get it in one of my fucking zombies. Maybe not one of the zombies I have currently, but maybe a zombie in the future.
Ooh, okay. Um, I will say this. Go ahead and give me either Arcana or Religion.
Oh, you had me at Arcana, baby.
I figured I did, but just in case you wanted to go the religion route.
Okay, so let's see. Arcana. I will take the 23.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Um, so as far as something like putting it into Salix, that would be a lot trickier, you would know. That would take some time and research specifically on the magic that's holding the soul bind together in order to not interfere with that. That would be your biggest kind of stopping point there that you would have to overcome. As far as one of these zombies, you would know that with your 23 there especially, uh, it's a possibility. The biggest thing would be finding one that has a a bit of fortitude to it, a bit of resistance to it, because if uh if the core is too powerful and quote unquote not compatible, it could very easily just go ahead and destroy the zombie.
Okay, got the notes. I will make this happen.
But
Your
would it
core
destroy
is
the
mine.
core in the process?
Well, I guess we'll have to
With
fucking find out.
with a 23, actually, you would know that it would not destroy the core. But just off of the one at least. But after multiple attempts, once you get to probably about 5 or 6, where it just destroys them repeatedly, then yeah, you might start seeing some damage.
Done and done. I'm gonna get a strong boy.
All right, it is the end of the long rest now. Everybody has awoken, and Estelle is now just getting up from the trance. What do you all do?
Should we maybe check again to see what's surrounding us? See if it's changed.
Vagram kind of like looks just outside of the shell, and he says, I don't believe we are going to have a problem in the daylight. I sat up a good portion of the evening and watched as far as I could see towards the forest line, and the creature, whatever it was, stayed quite a distance away from us. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, especially during the day. If it was going to come for us, it would have been much smarter for it to have come at night. And if it does attack us in broad daylight, we have the same exact advantage that it does.
Okay, understood. She'll start packing her stuff up like she does normally when she's just like on a mission. So she starts packing all her stuff up, and it doesn't take long because she doesn't have much. So now she's standing there, just kind of looking around, waiting.
Yeah, Vagram just he studies his spells for the day out of the grimoire and checks his belt, makes sure that he has shit situated for easy access, and then takes his walking staff and. All right, are we ready for me to drop the dome? Because I can snap it out if we need to. Salix, are you oiled up? I don't really understand your preparation needs. You just kind of stood up.
Yep. I'm all good. Just like to make sure I'm all buffed out. No scratches, no scuffs.
All right. And Estelle, are you prepared as well? Everything put together? And I'm assuming Estelle is like, yeah, everything's
I'm good to
great.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Estelle would have went ahead and packed everything up before the trance just to make it easy to go ahead and just kind of pick up and go once the rest was finished.
Okay. With that being said, I will stand in the center of the dome, and I'll just kind of like reach my finger up and I'll touch it, and I'll utter the word for my dispel, or retract the spell, and the dome from the bottom up kind of retracts like a bubble being popped from the bottom up, and just kind of into my finger. Okay, I believe it's time to go.
Okay. She will. She's not going to take the lead necessarily, since we have Tanky Tankerson with us. But she is like kind of like standing ready, and will step out the door. Is it? What is it?
There's no door. The
Yeah,
dome just
step.
disappeared, and we are literally just
Yeah.
standing
Okay.
in the field.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
slept in the
y'all
grass.
y'all
That's right.
ended
I
up.
forgot that we had just the dome. Yeah, not the.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not a
It's
mansion
not a
yet, okay? We're
mansion.
working
Yeah.
our way there.
Well, whenever I hear hut, I always think, like it's
Yeah.
like this tiny little thing.
It's
Yeah.
just
So
not
Yeah,
worth
it's
paying
like
the
a little.
taxes on the
it's
mansion,
not.
okay?
Vagram's tiny ball.
Yeah, Bogram's tiny ball.
Oh,
Oh, it's true.
oh no. Oh no, I hate my brain.
Uh,
Bogram's Hollow Hole.
no, no, I dislike it, sir.
I do too, but that's what my brain came up with.
Bagram points in the direction we were moving, and he says, I still can't see the city. Salix or Estelle, could you possibly pick up the trail and lead us the direction we need to go? I am very not good with directions.
I think it was me last
Oh,
time.
was it you? I'm sorry. I thought he kind of looks at the ranger. Thought you were the professional here, but I digress. Whoever.
Well, we all have our strengths. Mine happens to
Oh, you
be.
elves look the same to him.
Listen, I wasn't going to be racist, but now that we brought it up,
Yeah, that's right. I had a 26 last time. Do you want me to roll survival again, since it's a new morning and all?
It's a new morning, but considering that you were all kind of headed that direction to begin with, and there's a bit of a worn path, I will say you go ahead and have advantage on it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, that did us a lot of good. A 14 and a 13.
better than a fucking under 10.
It's true.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to get there.
With how much farther out you are, yeah, you have a good idea of where to go. You might be slightly off from the exact location of it, but you wouldn't be too far off and you'd realize
Okay.
it fairly quickly.
Okay. So she'll point in the direction and say, if I remember correctly, we needed to go this way. As we get closer, we'll be able to really tell where we can enter.
All right. Well, I suppose that answers it. Could you maybe give me a heads up when we are, you know, somewhere in the vicinity of like, well, I suppose if it's 15 minutes. Actually, I should ask this. Has anybody been there? Is this a walled city? Do they have formal guard, or is it a militia forces, or?
Would there have been any? Would I have ever been here?
Sailfine, let me ask this. What would have been the last monastery that you would have been to before joining the group?
It's a very good question.
Just tell me cardinal direction, because there's one for all the four cardinal directions.
Probably, I think I'm just trying to think through. So I think it probably would have been south. Would have been the last one I should have been to.
Okay then. Go ahead, Selphane, and I will say Salix as well. Because of the direction that you would have to head from Onathalos to get to Taka and everything. Both of you go ahead and give me history checks.
Oh, I'm not so good at this.
That was almost a 19, and then it was
Oh, I hate when that happens so much.
not. With my +0.
Keep reminding yourself, we're all good at something.
Yeah,
Hey,
could be
13
my-
with a -1.
That's not
Holy
bad.
shit.
Holy shit. So yeah, Salix, I will say that you remember in your trip, and Estelle would remember this too because of the fact that rangers do typically accompany druids outside of Onathalos. Either that or it's another druid that ends up following alongside them. So you would know that Midshire is not a walled city, but within the past about 10 no, about 15 years, uh there has been a lot more people, in particular a lot more adventurers that seem to like to stop off at Midshire from what it seems like. So because of that, they do have a bit of a militia. Most of it seems to be guardsmen, though, from Taka that have been sent over to help protect Midshire.
Oh, okay.
He may be.
Sorry, I was
AFK.
just talking to Candace. Yeah, he's not feeling great today. Okay, I'm assuming though that he would relay that information.
Yeah.
Because that's the way Salix operates. So I'll say, all right, well, if that's
Sorry.
the case,
Yeah, I could hear. I just couldn't.
no
Yeah.
problem. We got you, bud.
All
We got
good.
you. You do
We
you.
understand.
You do you, do do. Boo boo. Okay.
Poor choice of words.
Yeah, I was about to say doo-doo and boo-boo are two
I
very
know, I
different
know.
things.
Okay, so he'll say, well, if that's the case, there's a good possibility they do not have walls, and the only reason why I meant, well, no walled protection, I should say. I only ask because I should probably not look like this if we are going in, because I am unfortunately very recognizable. So, once we get close enough to the city, just give me a little kick if I am not realizing we are there. If there is a quick transition. Or a slow transition, I should say, and I will change my form so as to not disturb the locals. And then I'll just follow Selphine and Salix.
Yeah, she'll nod, and clearly being one who understands, hiding your true identity. When we do get close enough, she'll be sure to turn and let him
Funnily enough, I think
Right?
Rose is the most, well, least identity hidden of the three of us.
know. I think so.
Literally,
Yeah,
literally the
literally.
3/4 of the party is just like, don't look at my face, it's terrible. And then Rose is like, bitch, I know I'm beautiful. Or horrifying.
Horrifyingly beautiful.
Rose,
Horrifyingly beautiful could be that too.
Rose
Just
just
as scary.
here.
Sorry.
Rose just here. With Estelle, like I woke up like this.
Her hair is permed. You did not fucking wake up with a perm. Shut up. I saw you put the rollers in last night. Oh boy. I don't think that was a sound effect.
Oh no.
It was.
Poor Bay.
Hey,
Oh
I'm sorry.
man. So Vagrim, really
Yes.
quickly, what are you going to be using to disguise yourself with?
Oh, I'll just be casting Alter Self.
Okay, how
Oh,
long?
wait a minute. Fuck, did I prepare it? I did prepare it. Okay, good.
Okay.
It only lasts an hour, which is really terrible. Because I burned through a lot of second level spells trying not to be seen. I gotta figure that out actually.
What if we just rub some dirt on him?
Oh, I think it's gonna need more than dirt to hide what the fuck I got going on.
I would just rub a little bit of dirt, tear your clothes a little bit, and you just look a bit disheveled. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Just get me one of those. Give me a Goldilocks wig, and I'll just wear that, and get me like one of those big, oversized pink bonnets, like the Jamboree Bears from Disney.
What if we got you like one of those
Oh
oversized
my
Disney
God.
heads?
Oh fuck yeah! Oh, I could be a mascot. Yeah, just traveling mascot. Who the fuck's that guy? He's our bard. He's a performance-based guy. Oh, okay.
What's his performance? Multi-man juggling
Yeah,
and pulls the
yeah.
zombies out.
Holy shit! Are
Bargerman
those
and the
corpses?
Shamblers.
They were corpses before I got my hands on them.
What have you become?
What is that noise?
You know, it's like a snake oil salesman from the 50s or 40s in America. You know,
They were
whiskey's
corpses,
great
and
for
now look at the
infants.
mood.
Ooh,
Just
have a cigarette, kid.
buy this.
Doctors say you got to get your daily dose of nicotine.
I think
All
you
right, I'm
crossed
sorry.
Logan.
I have hijacked too much of this episode with stupid ass antics.
Oh man. Oh, I'm laughing way too hard at that. I actually want to make a bard like that now.
That'd be badass.
Oh man. Probably like a lore bard or something, just extra magical secret to go ahead and grab the animate dead early at 6.
Hell
Look,
yeah.
he's dead. Look at him now with just some of my sauce.
With just a taste of my magic potion, he's kind of alive, for better or worse. You could still, you know.
He's okay-ish.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Selphine, about how far out from the city would you be before you go ahead and give Vagram kind of the notion that it's there?
So we've been traveling for a while. Would I have an inkling on like how long that lasts for you? Would you have straight up said it at any point?
Well, you guys did catch him recasting it
Mm-hmm.
because he was like, "Ah, shit, I gotta go like now." Oh wait, no, he didn't. He let it just drop in the city because
Yeah.
he was pissed.
Yeah.
He was not
But I
having a
was
good day.
helping.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we have worked together before. You would probably, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll
Yeah,
leave
is
that
that
up to the
okay?
DM. It lasts an hour, so he's burning those second level spell slots all day.
I would say because you all had been working together for about a month originally. So yeah, I would say you know about how long it lasts. Maybe not the exact duration, but approximately.
Okay. So, because honestly, it was either going to be 30 minutes or 10. So I'll say 10. When we're about 10 minutes out, she'll turn to Vagram and say, just so you know, we should be arriving in the next 10 minutes or so. If you'd like to protect your identity.
I appreciate that. Thank you. As we begin to walk, I give it another 5 minutes. Not that I don't trust her, but I'm really watching to make sure there's no like big patrols or, you know, giant guard towers. And then about 5 minutes out, okay, one moment, please. And he kind of pops the book open, walks behind Salix, and as he does so, there's the incantation. And when he reappears, he is the wood elf. Very healthy looking.
Did you use my character as a wall?
Sure fucking did. Yes, I did.
No, he didn't. He used you as a phone booth.
Yeah,
Right,
I just Supermaned that hoe.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, so you go ahead and do that. All of you would realize fairly quickly that this town it's kind of very abrupt where it starts. Like it was at one point a very small town, but now it is a small town that is looking to expand farther out because of the amount of adventurers and therefore the amount of coin that's been able to come on in. But it is a rather small town at this point and still pretty abrupt on these actual start and stop points within the city. So
Oh, I fucking love it.
welcome everyone to Midshire.
Wow.
I assume we're like down here somewhere.
Yep. Uh Actually, as you're walking up, because you would be coming down from about that direction, you do see a bit of dirt that was paved out there to go ahead and kind of, because people know that there was people going ahead and using that cut through fairly often. Uh, so you would know that you would see, I should say, that there is a little bit of a path on out from the city to go ahead and make it easy for people to get on in and over to the main road.
Sorry about that. I was getting my token on the map. I apologize.
It is all good. Go ahead and get yourself situated. Off to your right, as you get up closer to it, uh, you do see kind of a tavern looking place, but very oriental, primarily Japanese. You know, the large rectangular buildings that kind of just stack on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much in that kind of style, but it's only 3 stories. So it is still a fairly good size, but it's not like the 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks that we as players are more familiar with seeing sometimes. And then off to your left, what kind of looks like a bit of a kind of town hall, maybe a little bit of a chapel too, in certain regards.
Okay. So as per the now norm that you all are used to, Sylphine, once she's like done with the her part of leading, she kind of looks to to the rest of the crew. Um, it's almost like a habitual at this point where she stops, like almost like there's a barrier as soon as we get to this point, and turns and looks at the group.
Vagram stops very abruptly and just kind of like takes a half step back. It, all right, what are you doing?
Uh, well, I got us here, but I don't think I should be the one doing the talking.
Oh, thank goodness. For a moment, I thought you were going to turn on us or that this was some sort of ruse. You stopped so abruptly. Why did you stop like you were going to strike one of us?
Well, I'm always ready to strike, but not you.
Okay, well, that's fair. Kind of glances around at the others. Well, you've all heard me talk. I am absolutely not the one who should be doing this. Now, I have a little bit more flair and fluff in this form, but it's essentially a lot of bullshit, and people can see through it rather easily. I have no problem flat out asking or just walking around and keeping my eyes peeled, but kind of breathes in deep. Somebody's using magic here on a very large scale. I can smell it.
It's
Kind of
definitely
glances
not
around.
me.
Is there an enchanter here? Or an alchemist? Does anybody know?
She'll look over at, yeah, she'd look at Salix since he was
Yeah,
able to.
Salix, go ahead and roll me another history check.
Oh man. Oh man.
You do not remember of one, but you figure there has to be something that is here that is causing so many adventures within the past few years to make the trip over. You just can't remember 100% what it was. Vagrim,
Yes.
go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, yeah, you know I do. Oh, motherfuck, 25. Dirty, 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 baby.
Even even with you just kind of all getting into the area of the city itself, you can sense a little bit of magic, just kind of innately the aura of the lasting effects of it. Uh, Based off of the Arcana roll, you recognize some magic radiating off of Midshire Hall, but nothing arcane.
Hmm, okay.
Uh, but you do sense very faintly, because it's off a ways in the distance, you do recognize uh, what does feel to be a rather powerful arcane presence.
Fuck
What
yeah.
what exactly, because of the distance, you can't quite tell.
Okay. I'm just gonna take note of it, and kind of store it in my breast pocket for now. And can you ping on the map? Oh shit! I didn't zoom out. I didn't realize there was actually something listed enchanting crafts on this fucking on this map.
Yes.
I was zoomed in at 120% sitting outside the Samurai's respite.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious. I was just fucking riffing. Okay, well, is that where it's? Tell me that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, that would be
Fucking A, that is hilarious.
as a player, that would be about where it's coming from. Is
He was
the
riffing.
store known as Enchanting Crafts.
Wow.
Now, if
Okay.
nothing else, that should tell you, Logan, I wasn't kidding about the riffing. Because Logan asked me if he was allowed to riff in my campaign, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It's a necessity.
Oh yeah, with
I was
the
just fucking around. I figured
Yep.
the odds of there being something magical here would be worth talking about, so I'm happy that there is. Okay, he will take that note. He will put it in his breast pocket, and he will he's going to kind of think. He's going to start thinking. I'm going to go back through my notes to. He says, so the person we are looking for, just so everyone is aware, is a white dragonborn gentleman, kind of an old-fashioned, made ostentatious get-up. Looks a little bit more military than anything else. He has horns along the ridges of his head, and there is a woman in Midshire by the name of Stella that we may be able to contact, or maybe we can seek out to get more information. Or fuck, if we're lucky, maybe we just bump into the bastard. Either way, he needs to be taken alive. So if we have to fight him, let's try to render him unconscious. Or if we do have to use lethal force, let's make sure that we get to him quickly to bring him back. And also, I cannot be the one to deal the final blow. There is innate magic in my being that will immediately snatch the soul from him, so that will have to be one of you. I can get him very close, though.
I can handle it.
Now, comedically, there wouldn't happen to be a white dragonborn walking behind Vargrim right now with that horn.
No, there would not.
Oh, you're talking about me? Fuck.
Wow! Everybody roll
Oh,
initiative.
you're
Get
talking
him,
about
giant sloth, get him!
I was just about to say, oh, you're talking about me? Everyone roll initiative. But no, there is no white dragonborn entities that you can see at this point. You can go ahead and make, if you want, you can go ahead and make your way on into the city and kind of start looking around. As I've kind of been saying in Xavier's stream, shout out to you, Xavier, because you are a streamer. And actually, I think I also said on Tuesday in Nerdy's stream, there's like 14 or 15 unique NPCs. So wherever you go, unless it's just like random NPC this, like random civilian this, random civilian that, there are 14, I think it is, after I counted it, unique people here that you could end up interacting with that have a token and everything to them.
That's fucking awesome.
So go ahead and move around to actually, where are we at here? 402. No, I think we're going to go ahead and hit a quick bathroom
Sounds good.
since we're just getting to the town now. And then we'll go ahead and pick back up and we'll go ahead and have everybody start kind of looking around where they want to on the city.
Hi, Rose.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Just in time. We're actually just about to hit a bathroom
Just in
break.
time to go away. Welcome in. Goodbye. All right, sounds good. So we'll see you in just a few.
Yep. Call it about 5 minutes.
Okay, guys. Be right back.
All right, everybody. As I said, we're going to take about a 5-minute break and then we will be back. Until then, go ahead and enjoy the music. Okay, everybody, we are back. Also, sorry about that. I completely forgot that song was part of this playlist. Oops. But everybody else back?
We're here.
Yep.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure before we got into the roleplay of it. So, Rose, on the map here, you'll see that there are all sorts of different places. There's this little trail that kind of goes off to the southeast here. That is where everybody is kind of getting into the city from.
I love that Roll20 is deciding to fuck with my computer and say you're not allowed to see the map. This is wonderful.
Sometimes it has a lot of trouble rendering new places. If Roll20 hasn't rendered it before, which this is obviously the new map, it might just take a minute. It does it with me too, and I'm running on like a very high-end PC, so.
I mean,
Oh, it rendered the image. It's just I zoomed in very minorly to like see where everybody was, and it decided you're not allowed to see the map anymore.
Oh.
Does that.
Did it make it go gray or black? Or did it just overpixelate it?
Neither. It is green.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
Are you looking at grass? Are you zoomed in at like 100 and something %? No?
It's at 20%.
Holy shit, that's where I'm at
Are
too.
you off to the side of them? That's really odd.
What the fuck? If you right click, can you like scroll up and down to make sure that you're not like off of... Like, there is a fucking blue jay in my gutters. Get the fuck out of my gutter. Oh, crazy. He's drinking water out of the gutter. Sorry.
He gets rid of
I
all the other
apologize.
pests.
That has nothing to do with anything, but we're on the second floor, and I'm looking. There's this big-ass, huge male blue jay just drinking water out of the gutter.
Oh no, you're fine. It was just so funny. It's like you're talking and everything, trying to figure this out, and then out of nowhere, why is there a blue jay in my gutter?
Who the fuck ordered a blue jay? Get out of here.
It was me.
Damn it. The druid.
God damn you.
I was about to say, it was either
So
the
we're
druid.
not allowed. I was gonna say, so we're not allowing Salix to have any control of these animals, correct?
Nope, it's all our choices. That's his fatal flaw. He's the best druid in the world. The problem is only his companions can choose what he turns into. Speaking of which, Salix.
Yes.
I had an idea before we take straight to the streets. You had mentioned at some point being able to possibly shift yourself into a form that could fly. If that's the case, do you think you might be able to do a couple of circles above the city before we go and try to root this person out and see if we just get lucky and happen to find them somewhere? Out in the open anyways?
I certainly could. It's not the most inconspicuous form, though.
What is it?
A giant vulture.
Oh, shit. That's... I have a lot of questions. You're right, though. That is very... obvious. Salphine? Or Estelle? Do you have any... I mean, do you think that would be too out of place here? It'd be kind of ironic, kind of like the vultures already smelled the flesh of the man who needs to die. Maybe not by our hands, but maybe it'll be an omen.
What does she know about, like, this area? Like, is this gonna be that out of place in Midshire?
I'll go ahead because of the fact that Salix had rolled high enough and you two would have been traveling together when first making your way to Taka. you would know that Midshire, like within the past 10 to 15 years, has started to see a lot more travel than it once had, primarily from adventurers. So they are starting to look to expand outward and kind of have a little bit more of a bigger actual city rather than just a town that it is now. But what entirely has started that, you aren't 100% sure.
Okay, so how out of place is a giant vulture gonna look above the city?
Give me a nature check. And y'all have been here for a while, I will say, with advantage. The 17. So you would know that occasionally there have been giant birds that you've seen kind of within the kingdom overall. Not particularly anything like a giant vulture, though. You've seen some vultures, but they're more regular size. Any of the bigger birds that you have seen would have probably been more like a giant eagle.
Okay, what is the furthest distance that Salix has to be for the telepathic communication?
Uh, I think it's like 60 feet. One sec.
I want to say that's right as well. I'm looking it up right now. Yep, 60 feet.
Okay, so okay, that might be how far on the outskirts of this city are we? Like if we,
We're
I mean,
in the
on
city.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the space where you all are is from that point on. It is 5 feet increments.
Okay.
So let's see here.
So being where we are, it's not going to be too weird to see this random bird flying around.
Wait, are the squares 5 or 10 feet squares?
They should be 5.
Oh, okay, we are just
Well,
very small then.
Yeah, so I ended up making the map a 50 by 50 in Incarnate because I thought that would be about a good size for it, and then I realized in Roll20 that that is way too freaking small compared to the minis. So the map itself is rendered as a 50 by 50, but the actual space that it is taking up is a 100 by 100.
It looks. I mean, the scale looks good to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the squares are 10 by 10, that works as well. Like,
Yeah, so the actual black line squares that you can see, those are all 10 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
stick.
So what's the thought then? Should we risk it and see if Salix can get a bird's eye view? I mean, it's not like he's a mythical rock or some sort of other crazy creature. I mean, he's
Yes.
just... Yes, that's true. But I feel like somebody who has the perceptive capability to literally look bird's eye, maybe we should at least utilize it. And Salix, if push comes to shove, just go as high as you can possibly get so you look like a speck. And you don't have to be up there for hours, maybe just a couple of passes over the city, big circles, and, you know, just see what you can see.
It's probably
Question.
not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Salix can carry a person on his back, correct?
Yes.
I can, yes, but we went over like weird weight limit, so it's only specific party members.
So
Basically, Vargrim's got too much junk in the trunk. Everyone else seems to be fine though.
that's not what I was thinking. So what if we take what if Salix takes Estelle up? Because she is known for her perception.
I think that's a good idea, but the problem is a giant vulture circling a city for a few minutes, not that big of a deal. If somebody spots a rider on the back of said giant vulture, now
a
we've got a
problem.
problem. Can you make yourself smaller so as to not be seen?
Also, I just went ahead and kind of tracked it out. Y'all are about 120 feet out from this main road here.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can make myself look smaller.
That did
She
not
is-
answer my question. Will you actually be smaller, or... And no, I don't mean crouching really tiny and low to the ground.
What are you thinking, Rose?
Disguise self. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller.
Oh!
I was talking about maybe like the size of, you know, a mouse, or... I mean, you can do it if you want to, but if you start getting fired upon because somebody thinks that there is an aerial-bound rider circling the city, I don't have a whole lot I can do, especially if you
Yeah.
fall.
Completely fair. No, that's understandable. Yeah, no, it's just appearance-wise, I would look smaller, but not physically be smaller. If that makes any sense.
It does.
So
And he
yeah.
kind of like addresses himself and he says, this is physical, and he kind of like stretches the elf flesh on his face to a point where you almost think that he's gonna like rip it. It like turns dark purple, and he's like, it's real, unfortunately, but I can't make myself larger or smaller. And I'm terrible at seeing things. Awful. It's like I don't have working eyes or something. Oh, wait a minute, I take that back. I actually can change my height. Either way, I digress. I can only cast this spell on myself, so I cannot do it to you, unfortunately. Well, if you think you can stay hidden on his back or something, I'd be fine with you both going up to take a look. I just figured that this might be a viable option to at least start off the investigatory work.
I should be hidden enough if I use disguise self that it's not going to be a problem. But Salix, it's up to you if you're comfortable with it.
I mean, Estelle's pretty stealthy in general as well, right?
Alright, well, give it a shot then. We've nothing to lose. I mean, even if somebody questioned us, we'd just tell them to mind their own fucking business and show me a law that we've broken. Oh wait, no, sorry. We don't say those things to people. See, this is why I don't do the talking.
I was just about to say it sounds very similar to what I would have said.
We don't do the
We
talking.
don't.
The fucking druid and the ranger are the two talkers of the group.
Oh, the
Yeah.
druid should definitely also not do the talking.
I mean, inciting me is a little difficult to do since you can't read my facial expressions, but I often say the wrong thing.
Alright, so, Salix and Estelle take to the sky. While you are doing that, why don't Salphine and I, just start kind of perusing the city on foot? And, well, you'll be able to see where we are, but, I am curious. Remember, we are looking for, this is just as a reminder, we're looking for a white dragonborn man, who's dressed a bit on the ostentatious side. He has horns that grow along the ridge of his head, has kind of a military outward appearance to him, kind of an aesthetic, and he was seen with a woman by the name Stella. So maybe if we can track down this Stella, we can get to him, or at least get some more information. Good.
Sounds like a good plan.
Good. He's just gonna start walking into the city.
She'll walk next to him.
All right. So.
Alright, can you make my token the correct size?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. There you go. I do believe that is correct. It is a large-sized creature, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, you actually take up 1 square. As far as incarnate maps is concerned.
Most of my forms are large.
So, we will start with Vagrim and Selphine. Where, once you get up to the main road here, where would you like to go? It splits off to the left and to the right. In front of you are a couple of buildings. They appear to be houses because of the fact that there's no signage or anything out showing that it might be a shop of any form. And then, as I said, off to your left appears to be kind of a town hall / chapel. And then off to your right, potentially an inn.
Should we start at the town hall?
That sounds absolutely terrible, but I suppose we probably should. He kind of like glances like up to the north at the houses and then squints as he kind of remembers the tug of arcane magic that he felt in that direction. He kind of shakes his head and he says under his breath, "Not now, but soon." Yes, town hall. Yes, maybe we can speak to whoever is in charge here and let them know that there is somebody in the midst of this settlement that is wanted by the queen, and maybe we can encourage them to put the guards on alert, help us out.
It's
Maybe.
a good idea. Yes.
This did come from the queen. It did
did.
come from the queen. I did just confirm that.
It
Wonderful.
did indeed.
All right. Well, off we go then. And we'll head for Midshire Hall.
All right. Now, as you get up to it, it does have that very kind of round half dome front to it. And then right up at the front is 2 large doors, kind of like the big double door, but it's made as a big archway, so that way it's all just one door, you know? It is not open, but at the same time there's nothing exactly, like there's guards on either side, but they're not really worried about either of you coming up and even potentially, from what it seems like at least, opening the door or anything like that. They're just kind of posted there in case something happens from the looks of it.
What time of day is it right now, too, by the way?
At this point, let's see here, end of the rest would have been about then. So it would be about 2 or 3 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll say 2.
So, as we kind of begin to approach, Vagrim is just going to kind of whisper under his breath to Selphine. He's going to say, right. So, we're not here to make enemies. We are here to encourage whoever's in charge to assist us, and we will offer assistance if needed to kind of get help for us. Yes?
Yes, I think if we can offer a description of the target. that would
Wonderful.
help.
On 3. 1, 2, let's not get ourselves arrested. And I will approach the guards.
He looks confused about what she was supposed to do in that moment and then follows.
I'm gonna burn a 5th level blight on the first. No, I'm just kidding. I fucked up. This is why I told you not to let me to speak to anybody.
I didn't let you talk. You just...
I'm so sorry.
The first words Vagrim says to anybody is an incant.
Right?
Yeah. He opens his mouth. He's like really confident, and he's just like, "Yes, walk, let's near." Oh God, what the fuck are you doing? And the dude's face just melts off of his body, like, "Oh, Vagrim, you've doomed us." As Salix and fucking Estelle just like fly out of sight, they're like, "Nope, fuck that. He did it again. All right, new group." All right.
Your group
Anyways,
do this.
yeah. God damn you.
Oh man.
So as we kind of walk up the steps, Bagram will put his hand up. He'll kind of stroke, just almost trying to make it seem like it's just like almost like a nervous tick. He kind of like strokes his beautiful hair back, and he kind of like touches the ridge of his ear and kind of follows it back. He says, "Excuse me, guardsmen, friends." He kind of looks. He's gonna try to glance up and down. Do they have insignia on them from Midshire, or are they Taka guardsmen?
They are Taka.
Wonderful. So he's gonna re-clarify that. He's gonna say, "Oh, Taka's best and brightest. So happy to see you here. My name is Vagrim Bluebone. This is my associate. We need to speak to the mayor or whoever happens to be in charge. I'm not sure if this is a baronship or not, but we need to speak to whoever is in charge. We are here on behalf of Queen Aurelia."
The one kind of off to the right of the door, so your guys left, he kind of goes ahead and speaks up. Well, unfortunately, and you actually were correct with the second one, it is a baronship here. But he is away currently in Starmire, going ahead and dealing with matters over there. That being said, in his absence, there has been the priest who has been left in charge.
Ah, and may I please have the name of this priest?
As soon as I find it. Okay. And actually, I should re-clarify. He said priestess, not priest.
Ah, priestess. Thank you.
But the priestess's name he will give you, it is Keyleth, Keyleth, Aresus, Ariessus.
Wonderful. Keyleth Aresus. Wonderful. And does Keyleth, whom does Keyleth pay prayers to? You see he's very uncomfortable talking about divine stuff.
Worship.
Ah, yes, that's it.
She is one that prays to many, but if there was one particular that she draws her power from, it would be Torm.
Wonderful. Somebody who appreciates justice, just as I. Is she available currently? Kind of points towards the door.
He'll just kind of gesture off to the side real quick. Make yourself in. It is fine.
Hey. Thank you very much. Kind of turns Selfie. And he's just gonna, with gusto and confidence, walk up to the door, and he struggles at opening the door, and then he kind of steps to the side and says, "Can you help me get the door, please?"
Did you call her Selfie, like Selfie or
No,
something?
Selfie.
You said the full name. Okay.
I did, yep.
Yeah, she'll nod to you and step up and open the door for you.
He kind of nods, and you see him kind of put his back into kind of holding it for her. Ladies first.
Thank you. She'll step in without a second thought.
Yeah, as he steps in, like, the door kind of scoots closed, and he, like, pushes him in, like, 6 inches, and he's like, "I'm so not strong like this. I'm very
All of
strong
the
like
doors.
normal. The doors are terrible. Huge wooden monstrosities. Imagine animating something like that." Kind of glances around. "Hello!" To the room. Is there anybody in here? Tell me there's somebody in here.
There... there is. As you make your way in, it's actually a little surprising because when you hear priestess, you would think, or priest in general, you think person of the cloth, usually wearing robes or something like that. This is definitely not the case. Like, it's very much, yes, she is priestess, but she is fully decked out in at least what is medium armor.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And does she have Torm's insignia emblazoned on all of her shit?
She does not, but she actually has the necklace that has a large stone disc emblazoned with Torm's symbol on it.
Does she have any other visible symbols? I'm very interested to know.
Go ahead and make. I will say investigation or perception. Your choice.
I'll go with perception. My rolls are awful. Awful. You guys want these
No.
tomorrow?
You guys want these tomorrow? Yes, we do. Unless they're in our benefit, in which case we don't.
I was gonna say.
But with a 9, no, you do not see any other insignia.
Okay.
So as we kind of enter after the door situation, are there other like guardsmen in here, or is she just kind of in here, kind of keeping to herself?
There are a couple. So there are the 2 that were out front that you were just speaking with. On the inside, about at the 45-degree marks, on the dome here, there are 2 more guards posted, and then as you get farther back, you can see 2 more guards next to what appears to be the small kind of throne room portion of this. It almost seems like the front is the foyer, and then the middle is kind of a chapel area, and then the back of it is where the actual quote-unquote town hall portion would be.
Okay. So Vagram will kind of note as he's not really sheepishly, he's kind of like almost overconfident in walking into a place he's never been, meeting a woman he's never met, and seeing people he's never spoken to before, as he does with most things. And he will kind of hold his hand out and kind of point towards her, and he's going to say, Mistress Keelith Aresis of Torm, though they say, at least the rabble in the streets, that she is not monotheistic. The only priestess I've ever laid my eyes on who has a vision of polytheism. Interesting. Interesting indeed. My name is Vagram Bluebone. This is my associate Selphine, and we, my dear, are here on behalf of Queen Aurelia of Taka. How are you this wonderful morning?
She gets a nod from Sophie.
Really quickly, I would like to say, Vagram, you do recognize that Priestess Keelith is a elven individual. Selphine, go ahead and give me another perception. And this one with advantage.
Ooh. Oh, it was almost a nat 20.
As she reaches for the blowgun stashed behind her shield to kill Vagram dead.
You take one good look at her with your 18 there. The slightly reddish tint to the skin, the very prominent, almost kind of copper fading into red hair. This is an Eladrin, particularly one born during the autumn season.
Got it.
Also, you would know, being half-elf, that with Eladrin, it is very unique in the sense that whatever season they are born in is the season that they take form of.
Got it. Thank you. The nod would have been a little bit like once she she would have started to nod, caught it, realized it, done a deeper nod, and then lifted her head up.
Ah, here from the Queen, are you? That's great to hear. What news does she send you with? Or perhaps what mission have you been brought here upon?
Yes, it's not so much news as it is us seeking aid from you. I was hoping to speak to the Baron, but your guardsman out front told us that he's taken leave and that you've been left in charge, which is wonderful. A lady of the, well, I'd say cloth, but my goodness, look at you. We've been sent here on behalf of Queen Aurelia. We are looking for an individual who is wanted for questioning into the demonic happenings in Taka just yesterday. This individual, and he's gonna stop as he is about to just spill the beans, and I'm gonna glance around the room. Is this motherfucker in here?
That's a good question. I was gonna, there was gonna be a beat where I was going to, I don't know, figure out how to get you to stop talking.
Backhand him.
Uh,
Well, that
if you would
hurt.
like, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, I am fucking terrible at these.
Can I assist and give him advantage?
You can.
All right, advantage.
Also, very special thing.
All right, I'm gonna use knowledge from a past life, and I'll take the dirty 20. I'll take the
Ooh.
wizard.
Dirty 20. No, you do not see him in here.
Thank God.
That being said, little special thing real quick. And Candace would have known about this because I was asking about it a while ago. But long story short, I was cleaning out my room and I ended up finding a bag of random dice that I had not opened yet.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. So straight from DM Xavier's Emporium, opening with the first rolls now.
Oh, hell to the yes.
Exciting! We want to see him.
God, if you've got one unopened, that must have been from batches from potentially years ago.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
Nope,
awesome.
it wasn't even years ago. It was the one, because I ended up losing the random set that y'all ended up sending when Rose had sent the gift.
Oh.
And now you found it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
To the ground.
Oh, man. Oh my goodness.
What are you two
This is
drinking,
really
by the way?
cool. It's almost like a granite or something type of look on the D20.
A lot of those the random ones are cool. We're drinking kombucha, by the way. It's ginger.
Ugh.
It's ginger kombucha.
He said, "Ugh."
I fucking love
Nope,
kombucha.
I
It'll
love
help
it.
your belly if you're sick.
So good for your belly.
It
And if
probably
you're not
would,
sick,
but it'll probably come out the way it came in.
it's true.
Maybe I shouldn't roll these dice when I'm being a DM. Maybe I should save them for tomorrow.
Oh no, are they a little heavy?
Oh,
Oh no. So the D100, the double number D10, was 00.
Oh shit.
Oh, hey, that's actually
The-
not always good.
The D10 was only a 2. D8 was a 7. D4 was a 3. D6 was a 6. D12 was a 9. And the D20 was a 16.
Holy shit.
There's
Solid
a,
dice.
yeah, I was about to say, those are some really solid dice.
Well, I'm glad that you came upon them. That makes me very excited.
And now to make the first actual roll with them. Because
Nat
Keyleth
20.
Keyleth is needing to make a check.
Uh-oh.
She's checking to see if I wash my face.
My spell is not an illusion, by the way. It's actually real. It's alteration.
Yep.
I knew what this bitch is looking. Don't you fucking look at me like that. This is totally my ears.
this is my real voice.
I have to admit, I'm a little surprised seeing you. Vagrim, was it?
Yes, mistress. And why are you surprised to see me?
Well, not so much see you in particular. It's more the Blue Bone name. I've
Oh.
heard of it before, but not from the elven kind.
Oh.
Is this... And she's kind of looking at you closer.
Can I
He
in-
lo- he looks very uncomfortable.
Can I insight check her? Mostly what I'm looking for is if she's getting ready to attack, if she seems like she's getting aggressive.
Go ahead. And you can tell Vagram, she's looking you over primarily to see if this is an illusion of some form, and she cannot seem to find any kind of illusion that is going ahead and holding up over you. Selphine with a 22, sweet goodness.
I have a +7. I'm good at that.
You can tell she's not ready to attack or anything. She's more just kind of intrigued and curious.
Okay.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Priestess? Are your guardsmen battle-hardened?
To be fair, some of them are, but some of them, more so the ones from Taka recently, have been, over the past few years, a bit green, I believe the term is.
He smiles at the thought of green and he says, good. He kind of addresses now the chamber. Gentlemen, ladies, and everyone in between, prepare yourselves for... The priestess is correct. The blue bone name runs deeper than elven flesh. But for those commoners who are not used to seeing people of my stature, I, as a public service, free of charge by the way, always mask the hideous undertones of my existence. And then he kind of puts his hand on his face, and as he wipes upwards, he's gonna whisper the dispel incant, and he's gonna reveal his true form as the elf flesh kind of fades away and the ears shrink in, and he gets, you know, kind of that hunch in his back, and his cheeks sink into almost skeletal level, and he kind of readdresses the room as that happens, and he says, like I said, this is not a face that is necessarily acceptable by most public views. And so I try not to negatively influence people's decision about who I am as a person, just based on my looks. I apologize for the deception, but it was for the better of the people.
Don't worry, I can understand where you are coming from. I did not mean for you to have to drop your appearance or anything. I was just trying to rack my brain on exactly where I had heard it from again. But I do thank your honesty.
Selphine clears her throat. I will not be removing my mask. And that's all. Her eyes kind of dart around a little bit, and then that's all she says.
That is perfectly fine. And, Vagram, while I can understand your hesitation, many in this city have seen quite a bit, so some may be a little surprised by your appearance, but most probably won't bat an eye, especially considering Kem over at the farms.
Would you care to elaborate what has happened to Cam over at the farms?
Oh, nothing's happened. He is what many have called a half-breed.
And what combination of people created his being?
His mother is actually his mother and father are the owners of the farm there. He is a mix between a hill dwarf and a tiefling.
Oh goodness, I don't think I've ever seen a combination quite like that before, but now I'm gonna have to pay Master Cam a visit and introduce my hideous form to what I'm assuming is only the most beautiful form that could have been ever created from a hill dwarf and a tiefling. Anyways, I digress. As far as our purpose here, I'm going to be straight with you. You are, I'm sure, aware of the demon attack, the devil attack in the city of Taka yesterday. Or maybe it was 2 days ago.
Yes, Archmagus Torin had ended up going ahead and sending, well, as he had said, ascending, on over to notify me of such, that I should be expecting people.
Wonderful. So then you are already well aware of why we are here. We seek the White Dragonborn, the one who fled the city. The council member fled the city. Queen Aurelia has demanded his return. We need him alive. But this is a large village, a town, rather, I believe. And myself and my companions don't have all of the necessary resources at our disposal to seek this individual out. So, I am humbly requesting your aid. I would simply like to request anything that you can spare, even if it is just word amongst the guardsmen, both Taka and local, to keep their eyes out for this individual, to alert us immediately if he is spotted, and we need to know what the location of a young woman by the name of Stella that this individual was seen speaking with yesterday. We need to have a conversation with her as well.
Well, yes, as far as a Dragonborn individual, I cannot say I've seen one come by yet, but we can definitely let the gods know to be on alert for it.
This individual, just so you are aware, will be attempting to stay hidden, and he will try to make his presence in this city very minimal, because if he knows better, he knows we are coming for him. So, if you have any information as it comes, or if the guards, happen to spot him, please let us know. Just to give you a little bit more information, this person's name is... What the fuck was this guy's name?
It was the one with the really difficult fucking last name.
Oh, no, his name is Shova Orfinstalengiara. A Finch Plajura. Orfinch Plajura. Am I saying that right?
Finch Palangier.
I'm terrible. I am terrible with names. I am also terrible with
Yeah.
grooming habits.
Delphine just pipes up from behind her mask. Offenstallage.
That's it. Simple name like Shava, then you throw whatever is left in the alphabet together, and that's the last name. Doesn't matter what order it comes, or what language you speak. That's his name. Dragonborn man. He's dressed a little bit more ostentatious, kind of older clothes, and he has horns that grow along the ridge of his head. Also, he's a spellcaster, but very simple parlor trick spellcaster.
Well, at the very least, it is thankful that it is minor magic that he is able to cast, if anything. Although, even some of the lower tier stuff can be quite dangerous in the right hands.
You're not wrong about that.
As far as this Dragonborn individual, though, we will go ahead and have the guardsmen notified of this. As far as the Stella woman, if I'm not mistaken, yes, I want to say she would have been over at the farms last I knew.
The same farms that Cam and his parents operate.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Midshire farms.
Who is she to the family of Cam? Anybody of importance, or is she just a milkmaid?
No, she is she's actually out working the farms with Kem's father, Oriax.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your effort. If there is anything you can help us with, anything you can tell us, any information you can grant us, just feel free to send me a message of some sort, and if not, I will check back at least in the morning, and we will go about our business. And of course, in exchange for this information, if there is anything you require of us while we are here, we will be at your disposal. It's not just us, by the way.
Well, I do very much appreciate that. And it is good to know that there is more than just two of you. I would say your start would probably be best over at Midshire Farms, though.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And if at some point in the future, when, things have died down, at least on our end, I'd like to have a conversation with you, if you're all right with it. I've never met a priestess, except for a couple from my clan, but they were more shamans than anything. But I've never met somebody who was polytheistic and still maintained divinity at the level of magic truly weave. So I'm curious as to how that works, if you're ever available. No pressure.
Oh, but of course. Should you have time afterwards, I would be perfectly fine going ahead and discussing more with you.
Wonderful. Well, Serafine?
She nods in respect to the priestess and kind of turns on her heel and...
She will give you kind of the same nod back. Not so much... It's the same kind of nod because of the fact that she recognizes the ears, so she knows that there's at least a bit of elven descent to you, but beyond that it's just kind of like the standard nod. Maybe a little bit lower just because of the fact of elven heritage.
Got it. And then Selphine will try to... She'll get to the door before Bagrim does. She'll try to make it look like she's not trying to get to the door before him, and then she'll just pull it.
Bagrim is going to try to beat her there.
It's push from this side, right?
Yes, it is push from the outside.
She'll say...
I think you're faster than him, by the way.
Yeah, I am a lot faster
Oh,
than
yeah.
you.
She can do Step of the Wind, bonus action, a dash.
Yeah, if I wanted to. Otherwise, it's still 45 feet. So yeah, she'll get there and she'll say, "Ladies first," and open the door for herself, and step out and hold it, so that way she steps through first.
Okay, since it's double doors, he's gonna very gingerly, with 3 fingers, push the other door wide open and step out himself and go, "I told you I'm only weak in the other form."
Oh, right. She'll step through his door and let the other one close.
So you come back in. We are the fucking Two Stooges. We can't go anywhere together.
And I'm not. She's not even.
No, you two can't. Oh, but this
All
is
right.
so great.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll say, for the sake of brevity, we'll take this time to walk towards the farms, and then obviously if these guys are going to do their thing, that's
Yep, I
plenty
was
on
just
our
about
end.
to say. As you two leave, we'll go ahead and cut on over to Salix and Rose. Salix, you have taken the time to use your wild shape. You are now a giant vulture.
Jeez.
Now, if I remember correctly, Rose, you said you were going to go ahead and use Disguise Self to make yourself seem smaller.
She's gonna do that. She is also gonna put the hood of her cloak up because there is a camouflage aspect embedded in the coat or cloak. So may as well fucking use it.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to realize that.
Yeah, I did. But I also want to make her seem smaller because fuck being visible on the back of him. So yeah, she is also gonna use Disguise Self and just make her seem like a smaller being than she is at 5'10".
Alright, so how much smaller do you make yourself? Because I believe you said you could change up to 1 foot. So are you going the full foot?
Yeah, she's going a
Alright.
full foot shorter.
So you're down now to about 4'10". Salix, by looking at her, if you didn't know that this was illusion, you could almost classify her as a small creature.
Neat.
But you go ahead and hop onto the back of Salix. Salix, you go ahead and take flight. Go ahead and give me perception check. We will say one of you and we'll do it with advantage. The other one aiding, essentially.
Cool, I got it.
Are you doing it or me? Because I just rolled.
I got it.
Salix definitely fucking has it. Oh my goodness. So, you go ahead and make your trips on around and everything. Between the two of you, and also Estelle, real quick, go ahead and give me a stealth check. And then, considering the cloak and the disguise self, it'll be at advantage with a +2 modifier that will probably just add on to it by itself. So just give me stealth with advantage. But you make your flights on around. Whoa! I got so thrown off.
Oh, actually, just get
I got so
advantage on
thrown off because I
perception
forgot.
checks.
Oh, what was that?
I just get advantage on perception checks that rely on sight or smell just by being a giant vulture.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying that I got thrown off real quick because I had forgot that there was sounds and everything that play during a raid. So I heard sounds popping up out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what? But yes, hello raiders.
Oh.
Oh man, that threw me off and kind of scared me there. I'm not gonna lie. But you two do take flight. Looking around based on what you can see, you do not see anybody in particular that ends up going ahead and readily appears to be the person that you're looking for. You see a lot of people off to what is the far left of this map here, where all these stacks of logs are. Off to just outside of the map there is a large mill, large logging area and everything there. You see a bunch of people that are working there. You see a bunch of people that are working up over at the farm area and everything as you circle around to there. Nobody in particular, though, ends up going ahead and appearing outright to be the person, though. Whoever this is potentially is either inside or no longer here.
Well, I don't see him.
And there's no one, I'm guessing, that looks suspicious there.
As far as suspicious, no. But because of your nat 20, Salix, I will say, just as you're starting to finish up your little trip around and everything to try to keep a really good eye out and make sure, as you're making that final lap around, you do start to see Vagrim and Sailfiend making their way from the hall that they had went to on over to another location.
Okay.
Should we keep scouting or join the others?
If we're not seeing them now, I don't think we'll see them anytime soon. It's, I mean, being up here, I think we'll spot them a lot faster and be able to let them know. But I would just join them for now.
Right.
So I guess we'll just move over here.
Alright, and
Do
Salix...
the old dive bomb.
Yeah, I was just about to say, where are you going to be landing, and more importantly, are you going to be staying in giant vulture form?
I probably would, depending on, I guess, how populated where we are is right now.
So as you're just getting up to the farms, there's not really a lot of people, but the closer that you get, you do start to see more and more people, particularly past these two buildings right here.
Okay. If they don't freak out at the fact that I'm a giant vulture, I'll stay in form. Otherwise, I'll shift back.
All right.
Okay, so as you guys kind of land, yeah, what did I guess that's near us where we're walking. Vagermund wouldn't really have said much. He would have just been kind of keeping his eyes out as we're walking towards the farms.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Go ahead and give me perception checks real quick.
Wow,
Sailfiend
I actually rolled a
sees
fucking 19.
fucking all.
You got a
But
fucking
yet,
19?
but yet you do not see the dragonborn individual, at least as you're making your way up here.
Okay.
Well, it looks like they are coming down. Is he dive bombing us? What the fuck? And he'll kind of take a step back into the grass and away from where he looks like he's about to get nailed.
Yeah, actually, she'll go into like a defensive stance. She realizes what he said and doesn't think it's likely, but she's still in a defensive stance.
Salix, are you going to dive bomb down like right beside them, or are you going to end up giving them a little bit of room?
Oh, a little bit of room. Like, you know, don't want debris to be hitting anyone.
That's very kind.
That is very kind, though, especially considering that a lot of this here does appear to be a little bit more of a loose dirt. A lot of the grass that was in that area seeming to be kind of tilled up to go ahead and just have a nice little dirt location to go ahead and have this farm built across.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I was definitely dive-bombing directly down just so that less people saw it happening and it was faster, but there was definitely a wing spread at the end to prevent velocity and not just like a superhero landing as a vulture.
That's probably good. You only get the 2 feet, so.
That would have been pretty hardcore.
So.
Yeah, he just hits the ground and one wing stays up like a fucking fist.
Loses 25 points, shifts back into regular form.
Before they're even fully landed. Before they're even fully landed.
I hate
Sylphine,
my mind.
Why?
Because instantly you were talking about the superhero thing with the one wing still up and everything. And the only thing that my mind went to was both feet landing, but the wings just out like...
Yeah, like... Oh, shit.
The bird dab.
The bird dab.
So before they even fully land, like as the wing thing is happening and he's trying to be courteous, Sylphine she just says, "What did you see?"
Not a lot. I couldn't see anybody suspicious, barring yourselves. It was remarkably normal.
Us too.
Yeah, that is... Except, did you know that they have a priestess here who is polytheistic? The fuck? How does that even work?
I honestly don't know. Didn't think it would.
Anyways, it was not the person we were looking for. So, she did tell us that this Stella, she works here at this farm. And there is, don't know how familiar with people of mixed genetic lines you are, but just be aware that there is a gentleman here by the name of Kem, who is half dwarf, half tiefling, so stifle yourselves and prepare. She said it very particularly, like he was going to be horrific. Actually, she referenced it in referring to me, which is a little bit offensive, because I'm sure he looks just fine compared to what I have going on. But anyways, yes, so the farm. Estelle, you did not see anything from up there either?
Honestly, at that point, Salek's eyes were better than mine. Anything that he saw, I pretty much saw too, but he didn't notice anyone or anything in particular that was suspicious. That being said, there is the possibility that he could be using something to disguise himself, so that's something that we'll also have to keep in mind.
That is true. You know, that actually is a very good point.
I will go ahead and say, Rose and Salix, at the mention of the of Kem, the dwarf tiefling person, you don't think you've seen anybody that fits that description, but you do remember up over closer to the farms a tiefling individual. And Salix, with your freaking nat 20 on that, you would know in particular that this was a Glacia tiefling.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
A subrace of tiefling.
Just a special. This is special.
Okay.
Right. So maybe let's go have a conversation with the people who own the farm, see if they can bring in this girl Shava to allow us to have a conversation with her. When that does happen, I am going to perform a small, very quick incantation, and it's going to cause my eyes to glow blue. Do not be afraid. It's going to be detect magic, so that I can hopefully see through any illusion here in the farm of anybody who may be trying to mask themselves.
I love that Vagram has that because she was thinking of doing the exact same thing.
We could both do it. We could stagger him.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That
Detect
really
magic
is-
body.
Right, so, shall we?
Let's.
Alright. Start moving in towards the farm then. And as we get to, well, I guess Vagram doesn't really understand farming and how it works. He knows that there's a field, and people do stuff in the field to get the produce, but, like, as far as, like, is one of these essentially like a barn and one of them like a place of dwelling, like a place where like the farmhands would live and stuff?
So one of them does look like maybe a bit of a spot for farmhands, maybe not so much to stay, but at least to kind of go ahead and sit down, take their breaks, eat their meals, different things like that. And that would be the one off to the right here. The one off to the left actually appears to be a bit more of a working building.
Like processing, like
Yep.
shucking corn and shit like that, baling hay. Okay.
Something of that nature, yeah. And have you already started the detect magic or no?
I haven't. I was just trying to get a lay of the land, but that's coming very soon.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure on that.
Are there people milling about? Like, is this a pretty active farm? I mean, the field looks pretty fucking gigantic, so I assume there's at least somebody around.
Oh yeah, there is a few workers that are kind of going ahead and tending to the different plots off to the side here that you can see. There's actually a couple of people outside of the plots over here where that ping was that are actually standing over by a very large area of hay that needs to still be baled.
Estelle, where did you and Salix see the tiefling gentleman? Where was he exactly? He's the one I want to have a conversation with.
You two would remember seeing him just a little bit off to the right of the main, kind of just off to the right, basically around the corner from this right side building.
From what we could tell, he was off to the right side, so where it looks like where the building is that we are now, more towards the far right side.
All right. Vagram will kind of turn around and look at the rest of the group and just say, all right, now is the time to probably just be on our alert. We are looking for this girl, Shova. I'll try to talk to this guy. but I'm going to approach him like we are very good friends. So just bear with me, and then I will go ahead and I will incant the detect magic spell, and I will place my hands over my eyes, and when I finish and he blinks a few times, the kind of dead, empty, hollow, gray become little rings of blue as he's glancing around now. And I'm looking for anything. If anything's got magic, I'll take the 6 seconds and watch it.
Yep.
So, across the entire field here, you do sense magic across the entire field.
And the school?
The school, I just looked this up. I want to say it's transmutation, though.
I have a sneaking suspicion I know what you're doing, and I think it is also transmutation. But if I'm wrong, then so be it. It's illusion. The crops are rotting.
Yes, it is transmutation.
Transmutation. So he's gonna kind of look surprised, and he kind of says just out loud to the rest of the group, "Holy shit. This entire place is dripping in transmutation magic. That is disconcerting. But it is what it is, I suppose. Let's try to find this tiefling."
I will
So-
say, also really quick, it is very much specific. Like right where the, not so much gate, but kind of the row is that goes ahead and cuts off the dirt from the actual farmland that's being used. That right there is kind of where the transmutation stops and ends, just full stop.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's a very specific. It is the field that is got
Yes,
the magic
it is
over it. Okay,
the field, and that is
gotcha.
it.
Understood. Okay, well, I suppose then Vagram will kind of like nod his head and walk back around the corner, just kind of keeping his eyes open. I'm just looking for the first male tiefling I see.
Same. Yep.
As you make your way around the back, because you ended up going ahead and taking the long way, that might have been a little bad on my part, but off to the other corner over here, you do see a tiefling figure.
Oh, he was at the top. Sorry about that. My dumbass. Okay, there we go. So as we begin to approach, he'll kind of put his hand up to him and in Abyssal, testing the waters here, in Abyssal, he's going to put his hand up and say, "Greetings, brother. Good day and good tidings to you and your glorious land."
He'll kind of look at you a little weird and confused. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't recognize what you had said there. Do you speak common,
switches-
perhaps?
He does switch to common and goes, "My apologies. I was just making sure you weren't that kind of tiefling, because, you know, infernal versus abyssal."
I see.
See, if you
I
responded,
see.
we would have had maybe a small problem. But you didn't, so that's great. I know you're good people. Your name is Master Oryx, is that correct?
Oriax of Reverence.
Oryx, excuse me, my apologies. But you are the master of this farm, yes?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. And you
Yes.
might be...
Vagrim Bluebone, and my companions here, this is Salfine, Salix, and Istel. We are here on behalf of Queen Aurelia of Taka, and we've been given some specific instruction as to you maybe being able to help us out a little bit, if you'd humor a question or two from my companions and I.
At the mention of him being questioned, he does look at you a little surprised. Not so much as like a surprise of, oh shit, I'm caught or anything like that, but more like, what could I be doing to help here? Of course, go ahead and ask me whatever questions you would like. I'm a little surprised I might be the one that could help, actually.
Well, you're a much more important man than you give yourself credit for, but we are looking for a young lady by the name of Shava. We need to have a conversation with...
Shava is the councilman.
Yeah, fuck it. We need both of them. Have you heard of this guy named Shava or Stella, the one of your farmhands, I believe?
Stella, yes, I know her quite well. This Shava individual, though, I don't know who you're speaking of.
Vagram looks at Selphine and kind of waits
Yeah,
for
can I
a nod of
insight?
approval because
Go
I knew
ahead.
I knew what she was gonna fucking do.
Go right
I
ahead.
knew.
It's a 15.
He's seen a lot of people make their way through the city in recent years, in particular, and everything. He seems to be telling the truth in that he doesn't know the person particularly, but maybe he's seen him before as councilman, before he was on the run now, essentially.
Okay.
And just doesn't recognize exactly who you're talking about.
Just for the record, every question we ask, I'm going to be insight checking.
Good to know.
So you've not seen. Let me maybe add some detail to the situation. The individual we are looking for is a white dragonborn man. Excuse me, dressed a little ostentatious. Definitely would stand out here. He has a ridge of horns that grow along the ridgeline of his skull, and he has been seen conversing with your farmhand Shava. Or excuse me, Stella.
No, I can't say that I know the person in particularly. I do appreciate the description, though. I'll keep an eye out.
Again, he looks at Selphine and waits for a nod.
Telling the truth.
Okay.
It's a very tiny.
As far as Stella, though, she's just right on and goes ahead and points up over in this area here by the carrots.
Okay. He kind of nods and he says, very good. By the way, this guy, he is not radiating magic, is that correct? Like his person?
No, he is
no?
not.
Okay. Perfect. So he
you
is going to
can-
say...
You
go
can
ahead.
kind of sense the lingering essence of the Nine Hells still from his lineage, but that's about it.
Okay. He's going to say, well, honestly, I believe that's the tail end of the conversation we needed to have. We really just need to have a conversation with Stella, as she is the last person to have seen this individual who we are looking for on behalf of Queen Aurelia. But before we go, I'm curious. What have you done to your field?
Oh, this.
And he kind of points up at his eyes.
Ah, I see you're able to sense it.
He
Or
kind of
maybe
points
even
behind
see
him
it.
at. He points behind him at Estelle. I'm assuming her eyes are also glowing.
It is. It's more like a crystalline blue color. When she uses her detect magic, she's more so gonna step out to the side and kind of around Selphine and Bagram, and just kind of stay off to the side, out of the way, and just keep a watch on the field, just in case anybody starts to run.
In Abyssal, as you do that, Vagram will whisper to Estelle and say, if she tries to run, shoot her in the legs.
Fuck!
And you'll just see like a slight smirk on her face before she answers back, oh, don't worry. She'll hit the ground before that happens.
Vagram smiles and goes, we have a vulture too, did you see?
I did. I was trying to avoid that. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Stranger, but that is quite an intimidating figure.
He says, good boy, Salix. Who's a good boy?
Well, you done did it now.
God help you guys if I ever get my hands on a leash.
If we don't need a leash, you just need rope at this point.
Yeah, no shit. Or he needs something much bigger when he's that sloth or the fucking lion.
Well, this is technically the same size as the lion.
That's true.
I think the sloth is bigger.
Oh man.
He'll say though,
It is.
he'll kind of like partially dismiss him, and he'll just be like, "Well, thank you very much. You had the field though, the spell that has saturated your soil. Is it
It was a gift from the Monkey Kingdom and Onathalas, actually. A bit of an agreement, really. Onathalas being ones who helped to enchant the picket that was created here.
Vagram will turn around and he'll just say out loud in common at the giant vulture, "Is this druidic magic?" And kind of point at the fence.
I did insight check as well.
He is telling the truth, yes. As far as he can tell and know from what he's been told and everything, at least.
Would I know if it's druidic magic?
Go ahead and make a nature check. Not only do you recognize it as druidic magic, but because of the fact that it is also specifically on the druid spell list, you recognize it as basically the picket being a field or a zone in particular that is encompassing and containing a plant growth.
Oh, neat.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That is neat.
So he just kind of, Vagram waits for the potential intrusive telepathy.
Yes, it is.
Oh shit! No, sorry. I was bracing myself for it, but it always. Yeah, okay. It is druidic.
I could even do this.
You could do this. And he is, by the way, I am repeating all of what I'm saying out loud in common as the bird is staring at me. Wow.
Yeah, quite easily.
That is impressive. I didn't realize you were capable of such talents. Your people are just geniuses. I mean, I would never have thought of something, but I don't have to eat, so I suppose I would never have thought about something like these. He turns back around towards the tiefling. Sorry, derailed a little bit there, but got very excited about your magical field. Stella, you'd be alright if we just had a quick word with her.
Not a problem at all. Would you like to go on out, or would it be better if I call her over?
Well, I wouldn't want to accidentally trample any of your beautiful vegetables, so maybe if we had a conversation over here.
I do very much appreciate that. And he'll kind of look over real quick into the corn, or not the corn, but the carrots there, in that whole section of the field. Stella, could you come on over here? And you will see a human figure making her way on over. Unfortunately, I did forget the fucking token to Stella. It's the only
it's
one.
okay.
It's the only one that I forgot, and I didn't have time.
It's alright. Either you were confident that she didn't matter if she died or lived, or you knew we weren't going to kill her because she's going to be so sweet. We'll fucking
Just
see.
put a jelly bean on the field. We'll see what happens.
Oh, actually, hang on.
Oh, fuck.
No, virtual jelly beans don't count.
No, but I can use.
Hey, there we
I
go.
can borrow a commoner from the Taka
Hell
section.
yeah. Fuck yeah. Alright. So as she's kind of walking over, I'm just going to turn and whisper to the rest of the group. Do you want me to continue to do the talking, or have I made things strange?
I don't
You
think
made it
strange.
simpler. At this point, if I talk, I'd be more likely to shoot than get answers.
Well, thank goodness we didn't put you in charge of the talking. Alright, I'm going to... I take a deep breath and I just say, I'm going to try to bullshit my way through this the best that I can and hope for answers. Salfine, please just keep your eyes on her. Estelle, if she goes to run or something stupid, just cripple her for us, because we will get a conversation.
You can also try to catch her.
Oh, I'm sure you will catch her. I tried to beat you to the door in the Great Hall, and you fucking tiptoed faster than I could sprint.
Oh, you were racing?
Are you kidding me? Did you not hear me panting? The answer is no, because I don't breathe.
Her eyes just kind of look back and forth.
Oh, man.
You must be Stella.
Hi, yes.
Hello, Stella. You can absolutely help us, my dear. My name is Vagram Blueborn, and these are my associates. We have the ever-lovely Salfine. Very fast, by the way. This over here is my friend Estelle. She is also very fast, and I have seen her at multiple times fire 4 arrows in the same pull of the bowstring. And that right there is a giant fucking vulture. What do you know about Shava? And how do you know this individual? And let me follow up your answer, your potential answer, with this one question. Are you aware that this individual is wanted by the Queen of Taka? Queen Aurelia.
Shava. Yes, I know a Shava. What wrong has Councilman Shava done?
That is none of your business. At this point, we need to know how you know the former council member and where he is.
You get if you look over at Selphine after her answer, you'll get a little nod.
Okay.
Well, I know him, actually, only because of the fact that he had sought me out as a little bit of a local within the town. I can't say I know him too well. We had met just the other day, actually, was the first time.
What did he seek you out for?
He was just asking for where there may be refuge to take, potentially within the city, even.
And what did you tell him?
I told him there's not much within the city aside from the Samurai's Respite, a little bit south of here. Beyond that, I mean, obviously, as long as he has coin, which I'm sure the councilman does, then I'm sure...
Former councilman.
Oh, I had not realized this was quite that severe. It's good to know. And you can tell it's like she's worried as she's talking, but it's not trying to hide a lie or anything. It's just like, oh, fuck, this is a lot bigger than I expected any of this to be.
Noted.
Yeah, so he'll say, he is a wanted criminal. Wanted by not the Queen's guard, by the Queen herself, which is why we are here.
I see. I'm assuming this, if it's this important, then it must be something to do with the attack that we had heard about.
Yes, there is fear and suspicion that former Councilman Shava was one of the orchestrators of the demon and devil assault on Taka. Now, you told this individual that they could seek refuge in the local inn. Did he?
Honestly, the best I can say is that I did see him making his way over that direction, but I can't say too much more from that. I ended up talking with him, and then after he made his way off, I kind of went back from my little break that I shouldn't have been taking. And she kind of turns her head off to the side, realizing that she just admitted she was taking a break from work in front of her boss.
Her boss, yeah.
Does she have anything magical on or about her? I forgot to ask that.
She does not, at least on her.
That last
Go for it.
that last insight check was I rolled it when she said that when she described all that they did to make sure that she's not leaving anything.
She is telling the truth on that. From what it seems like, yes, it was just kind of it's possible because of the fact that you all were told that the location was found and he was seen with that person. So you can assume that what was being seen was probably the interaction between those two that she's speaking of.
Okay. She's gonna look at Stella. And just, what does Shava look like to you?
He was a white dragonborn individual. He had honestly what ended up looking like more old, kind of tattered looking robes with a large, he'd have to have quite a bit of strength to wield it, but a large sword across his back.
The idiot didn't even mask himself.
He may not have known he was being hunted.
He should have known.
He ran, but that doesn't always mean that you think the smartest when you're afraid.
That is fair. So do we attempt the tavern? I'm actually going to kind of look at the, I'm going to look at the girl and say, you work right here. The tavern is just down the road. And he kind of acknowledges the tiefling as well. Have you or any of your farmhands seen a white dragonborn man leave the city in the last probably 18 hours or so?
I mean, I would have to ask them. The tiefling Oriax kind of speaks up. I would have to ask them, but I mean, I haven't seen anyone in particular.
All right. Well, I would like to have that information. I mean, because we are literally grasping at straws here, and this is essentially us. This is turning into us hunting for an individual who may not even be in the city now.
I completely understand why you are asking, trust me. Oh, wow. Wanted fugitive here in Midshire.
Well, even more than that, potentially here somewhere on your farm or in the care of your farmhands. Kind of glares at Stella.
If you want, you can go ahead and make an insight check at Stella, just kind of her overall, kind of the tone of her, what am I looking for here? Her body language, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell, Zelphine, that she's scared enough, having realized that Queen Aurelia was the one specifically that was asking for him. Should she have ended up harboring him at all, then yeah, she would have ended up saying something.
Okay, so I'm getting the feel that she truly isn't hiding him or anything.
No, she doesn't seem to be hiding him or anything. She's more freaked out by like, oh shit, and please let me not be in trouble type of freaking out.
So I actually am going to use telepathy. To
The fuck? You can use telepathy
I
too?
have telepathy, yes.
What the fuck?
So I'm gonna use that to let yeah, I'm gonna use that to let Bagrim know she's absolutely telling the truth. There's nothing that's making me think otherwise.
Now, Zelphine, is this the first time you would have used your telepathy?
Yeah.
Okay, so please explain how it would work.
Sure. So, thankfully you can't really see her face, so, nothing will change there, but, it would feel sort of just like a tingly feeling washing over your, starting from like the crown of your head. And then as she speaks, it's her voice just as monotonous as ever, maybe a little echoey since it's in your head, and it's in common.
Okay. Vagram will be taken back for a moment, assuming that it was going to be Salix that was talking, and then hearing her voice. He kind of like stops suddenly, and he does like one of these at Selphine. And then he realizes just how awkward this is, blinks a few times, and then turns back to the other two. And then he just nods, like, yep, I heard it.
It's like, can you two assholes also do this?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean,
Guess I'm the
came
only
up.
idiot who didn't learn telepathy. Okay, guess I got a thing to pick up.
Because Estelle doesn't have it either.
Vagram just turning over like, wait, this bitch?
Yep.
That's the look, too. He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
She doesn't falter at all. She just stands there and accepts that crazy stare until he stops, and then
Yeah, and he'll look back and he'll say, all right, I believe what you are saying, but I want you to know, and he kind of puts his finger out like an old grandpa getting ready to fucking lecture the kid. You need to be careful with who you make friends with. This person came to you and told you he was a councilman, and while that may have been true at one point in time, you were dealing with a demon-summoning fugitive. Be careful. Curiosity, was he ever inside your house?
No, not that time. Not that I'm aware of, no. We ended up talking just a little bit north of the picket here at the farm. And
Understood.
from there he made his way on in towards the inn.
Understood. Well, I thank you very much for your time. He kind of looks over at the rest of the group. Does anybody else have any questions for this young lady?
no, I do agree with my companion here. Just be careful who you're speaking to and what you're saying. Make no promises.
That I understand very much. Thank you.
Stella's just gonna nod towards them. And in particular to Stella, she's just gonna say thank you for the honesty. We appreciate it. And if he comes back to speak to you, please let the priestess know. She will find a way to reach us.
I understand. Thank you.
All right. Well then, Master Oryx, thank you very much for your time, and we will leave your beautiful farm in peace for now. Just keep your eyes open. If anybody, like Estelle says here, if anybody happens to lay their eyes on any white dragonborn, they are so rare that if you happen to see one before we leave, which will maybe be in a day or two, you come seek us out. We will more than likely be staying at the inn.
Not a problem. We'll make sure to go ahead and seek you out, or at least the priestess.
And yeah, he'll just kind of turn around and start walking. And as he walks past Salix, he'll just kind of put his hand up under his chin and give like a little under scratch and goes, "That's a good boy."
you've never seen a bird stare daggers before.
I was gonna say, I want to insight check Salix. See if he likes it.
I can almost guarantee you he's gonna hate it. Estelle is just gonna tap Salix twice as like a... Well, we're going now. I don't know if you're just gonna fly there, but I don't know how comfortable you are waddling towards that place, but if you want to fly there and just meet us there.
It's more like a horrifying crawl.
Really quickly, too, as you all are about to leave and everything, Oryx will kind of speak up. Since you two are here, well, I'm sorry, on behalf of the Queen, I take you to our. I keep saying two. Sorry, you four are adventurers, or at least within the guild.
Vagram, at the note of adventurers, he turns and begins to go, absolutely fucking not. The guild? Ah, yes, we are members of the guild. Yes, we are.
Then it may also interest you to stop off at Enchanting Crafts, the Kabek brothers. They have been the primary source of income for this town, to be honest.
That's good to know.
I believe, and he begins to kind of sniff the air and turns his head to the west. That is exactly where I want to be. I can smell the weave of magic drifting through this town. I know where it's coming from now. We'll stop there. Is there some sort of problem within the town that you are aware of, except for what we have come here for?
Not really any problems or anything, but I kind of assumed that should you need wares or anything, that would probably be your first stop. That's where most of the guild goes to.
Yes, unfortunately, my pocketbook is a little bit light right now and will require me finding this Dragonborn man before I can really drop somebody. But I do appreciate you letting us know. We will make a stop there, I promise you that.
Yes, thank you.
As they're walking, like, I guess we're going towards the inn. If we're not, then they can let me know. But I'm going to expend one of my spell slots for Primeval.
Primeval awareness?
Yep.
Alright. Looking it over, because I actually had it pulled up this time to make sure that I could remember everything. Okay, so outside of the presence that you had felt coming from the forest, you do not sense anything.
And as they're walking, she's just gonna let everybody know. Similar to last night, it seems like the only presence, at least within a mile, is the Fae that we were talking about before.
Well, that's something. At least we are aware that that presence is still somewhere lurking nearby. If you do happen to sense those creatures closer, make sure you let us know, because they're fast little shits.
Yes, the sooner we know, the better for us.
Does Estelle know what a quickling is?
Go ahead and I'll say Arcana or Nature. Estelle does not know what these individuals are. Vagram, I believe you had said Quickling. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I did, yeah, because that's what came. Yeah, that's what came from the.
Yep.
That's what came from the big guy upstairs.
So you do know the name, at least, Quickling, but based off of that and the fact that there's the Fey presence, so most likely they are a Fey creature. Nothing directly.
So she's quite literally just gonna ask. So, I mean, obviously they're Fae, but what are they?
What is what? Oh, the quicklings?
Yes.
Wouldn't you fucking believe it? They're very quick. They're fey creatures, as well as I understood, as far as my knowledge from when I did my vision and just knowledge that I have from the days gone by. Quicklings are they are a form of pixie, but they have been touched by the elemental plane of air, and it makes them very fast. They're also extremely hostile, very evil by nature. There's really not a whole lot to say else besides they're fucking terrible and very, very quick. Did I mention bastards?
I don't think you did.
Well, they are, indeed, little shits. Alright. When we get close to the Samurai's respite, I'm gonna kind of turn around and look at Salix and say, I don't know if they're going to allow you in like that, but I could ask if you want.
Just from looking at the doors alone, you would tell that he would have a hard time trying to get in here.
I have no problem pulling you from the neck through the door, and we could have Estelle and Selphine push you from behind, if that is the most comfortable form that you possess. I don't think the lion will be any better. Maybe a little bit softer.
Yeah, I'll just shift back into regular form at this point. After the, audible groan through telepathy.
There we go. And hello again. Right, so I suppose we should probably go inside and maybe have a conversation with the owner or whoever is on staff and figure out if A, this individual is still here, and B, if they were here in the beginning.
Would Vagram still have the detect magic up?
No, that was only 10 minutes, that shit
Oh
faded.
yeah, because we walked a long way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So as we step in, I will be looking around very carefully, just at like whoever is in there. Obviously looking for a white dragonborn, but assuming there won't be one, looking for somebody acting weird.
Really quick, Vagram, what is the range on detect magic again?
It's only 30 feet.
Okay, so Oop. My bad on that ping. That was the wrong thing. But I will say, as it was fading, because let me see how far this is here. Okay, never mind then. Disregard. I was thinking it was closer, but I was looking at the big blocks, not the little blocks.
Ah, yeah. Okay, so I guess then as we enter, I'll go ahead and burn another first level spell slot, and I will turn the eye glow back on.
All right. As you do make your way in, you do end up seeing a couple schools of magic blended together, from the looks of it, behind some doors here in the back. Seems to lead to a bit of a chef's kind of kitchen. And you also see a very, very pale-skinned individual. Rather interesting. She's not half elf. She definitely looks human, but has the very long pointed ears like an elf.
Do I get any magical proc on her, or is she legit?
You don't get anything on her, and you don't sense a magic, but you do sense a almost like a void of magic behind her.
Do I know what the fuck she is?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
Ooh.
Anybody that would like to.
I will go ahead and spend my DM inspiration, and I will reroll that shit. And I'm gonna throw a little extra stank. I'm gonna pull up knowledge of a past life and use 1 charge from that for a 26 total.
Selphine wants to know everything about everything, so I got a 19.
A 19, so a 21 for Vagram.
Yeah, 26 for
No,
Vagram.
26 for me.
Oh yeah, 26 because knowledge from a past life. So Sailfiend and Vagram, both of you recognize this person actually to be a Kalashtar. Vagram, because of the fact that you rolled above a 20 and your detect magic is up, you can assume from your knowledge of the Kalashtar and the quarry that is connected to them, you can assume that is almost the manifestation of the quarry behind her.
Understood. Okay. You said she seems like the one who's kind of like running the place. Is that what you said, or is she just kind of hanging out here?
She definitely seems to be the one who's running the place. There's, a couple of people that are sitting down and eating. Looks like they're probably on break from the mill that Salix and Rose were seeing off to the left side of the city there.
And is our white dragonborn guy just tell me he's just sitting here
Yeah,
eating
as
fucking
as we
porridge?
stepped in, I was definitely going to be looking around the room.
You do not see him.
Is
And
there-
nobody that's shimmering with illusion magic?
No one shivering with any magic.
Perfect.
Is there so on my check, I'll do individual insights if needed, but she's gonna do just a very particular look at each person in the room. Primarily looking for somebody who looks like they're about to jump. Someone look at jumping.
Alright, go ahead and just, we'll do a singular insight check, kind of a scan across the room.
Okay.
Well, there's old Jumpy McBoo-Boo in the background.
Well, okay, there it is.
So you do sense one person who's a little bit jumpy. Not so much at the arrival of the four of you, but more just at the fact of, from what you could tell, maybe some herbal use. And currently coming down from it.
Got them jitters.
Yep, got the jitters.
Not a different kind of dragonborn that we've already encountered, right? That would be funny. Torin, what are you doing here?
Oh shit, man! Did I send you that send-in? Fuck! I'm so out of spell slots. What did you do last night? I need to go talk to a
Dude,
priest.
you don't want to know.
So much Taco Bell.
Jesus.
Honestly,
yeah.
it's not that far off.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, so upon that, she'd give that little nod to Bagram, whoever else was looking at her. Just a little kind of like clear.
Okay. Vagram will kind of motion up for everybody. He'll just say it in common. He'll just be like, I believe that is the person we need to maybe have a conversation with. Get ourselves seated. Is anybody interested in a drink? That is what you people do, right? You drink?
I think all of us need a drink at this point. Are we thinking one night or two?
Let's maybe start with one night and go from there. If we don't have to be here and there is nobody requiring our attention, I want to make sure that we complete Queen Aurelia's mission as quickly as possible.
Sylphine beelines for the bar. Once she
watching.
hears one night, she's
Vagram
Salix will
says.
also beeline for the bar.
Vagram says to Estelle, "Why do they have to run everywhere? I don't understand it. Do they not have a walking speed?"
She's just gonna like laugh under her breath. It's more we've been on our feet for how many days and dealing with those creatures and then hunting this person. At least now this is okay, we can sit here and just relax a little bit type of moment. So it's okay, let's do this before I change my mind type of mentality.
Vagram, he starts kind of laughing and he'll start to walk towards the counter, kind of really heavy with the fucking nasty humpback that he's got, and he kind of pats Estelle on the back and kind of like pushes her along with him. He just goes, "I swear, I'm just getting too old for this shit. I don't even drink anymore." And he's gonna take a seat. And I don't know if, because I know it's 6 right now, but he'll, you know, preparing us for next session, kind of, "Excuse me, ma'am, can we have a conversation with you?"
yeah. Sylphine would have been hopefully doing the same trying. She was gonna try to pay for the room.
All right. With having gotten to the Samurai's Respite, because like you said, it was 6. I was actually kind of looking down because I looked down at one point. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? It's 5:30 already?
I know,
I
shit goes
know.
by fast, man. You start role playing and you're
Goes
like,
quick.
"Did we
Yeah.
even do anything though?" We did a lot.
I
You did a
told
good
you would
amount.
have an RP day.
I knew it.
Mhm.
I would like to do one more thing before we wrap up.
I shapeshift into the giant sloth.
Right inside of her.
In the middle of the fucking...
Cuddle
Oh,
puddle.
he's in the door.
After, you know, coming back from the bar, I'm going to approach Vagram and just be like,
"Hey, got you a drink," and I'll hold out like a very nice looking draconic inspired cup filled with a kind of amber liquid.
You hand that to Vagram?
Yes.
Okay. Vagram kind of takes it and he goes, my organs have not been capable of consuming food or drink for at least 30 years, but did you make this?
I got it for you, absolutely. I mean, you can still drink, right? At least for appearances, if nothing else.
All right, well, I suppose while in the Samurai's Respite, right? And yeah, he'll go ahead and chug it. Chug it. Every last fucking drop.
It's pure olive oil.
Oh!
Really? I was just about to say really quickly, hang on, before you chug it, I was about to ask what Salix, what that was, because we have
It's my draconic vessel.
Yeah, so Sylphine, you do know that this is at least a trick. You're not sure what's in the
Yeah, I
drink
was looking
specifically.
for malice. More than anything, I was looking for malice. Like, was he trying to poison our undead guy?
No, and
It was
No.
to get you back to the chin scritch earlier.
I figured.
So, Vagram, he literally can't. Food and drink do nothing to him, so he slams it, licks the rim, and kind of stares Salix in the eyes while he does it, sets the mug down and goes, "That was delicious. Thank you."
he can't taste, can he?
Nope. The dude is literally dead.
Estelle is just gonna sit there, like, trying not to, like, gremlin cackle, because she knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. Because this is something that Salix does with everyone. There's always a prank that he will try and pull and see if they can pull it off. So once that happens, she's just gonna go try and get a drink and then probably head to bed for the night. Actually, that's a lie. She is also going to use her primeval awareness before going to bed, see if the Fae have gotten any closer. If not, then she's just straight up going to bed.
Alright, just as a heads up, Rose, currently it would be about 5 o'clock or so, so it'd only be like dinner time.
She's sweet.
But that is also for next session.
No, touche.
Yeah, I was about to get back into it myself, like, fuck it, let's just keep going, but
Yeah, we gotta get the
Yeah, we
kids
gotta
to
get
bed
the
and we're
kiddos to
streaming
bed.
and listening out.
been looking, trying to see who's someone we could raid. Any of y'all got any recommendations?
I see Sissy is on.
Yeah.
That's like really it on my end.
Yeah.
I have a League streamer that I could send you to.
Oh, what now?
Actually, I had just seen an old friend that was on the followed list that we'll go ahead and give the raid on over to. Just fingers crossed that it works for me.
Oh, I forgot it wasn't working.
Well, that was fun, guys, and I think we get to see you guys again next week, don't we?
Yay!
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks after. I
Yep.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not working through OBS, so try it through the phone now.
But yeah, no.
Twitch be twitching.
Twitch do be twitching, though.
Oh
Yeah.
god, it's
Twitching like crazy sometimes, man. It's not even funny.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am so
Yeah, I'm sorry about
excited
the,
about that intellect devour.
Oh, it's cool.
It's so gross.
It's beautiful. What are you apologizing for, Bae?
Oh, the end of next month. Like the last 2 Sundays, I just won't be here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, dude, because you've got fucking Christmas stuff. That's not a big deal. We got the same thing. We're not going to get Lucy for any of our shit. Well, that's not true. He's told us the last 2 years, I won't be there because
he
I'm going to
makes
be
it
in
happen.
Africa. And then he fucking shows up and he's like, yeah, I rigged one of the wires from my dad's office through the ceiling, down into the hippo pit, and then up and into my computer.
I probably could do something like that, but at the time of the morning, it's kind of just inconsiderate.
Yeah, yeah,
don't
no,
do
that's
that.
crazy.
Don't do
Real
that.
life first.
Yeah, take your time. I mean, it only happens once a year, so.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is not working for me, so I'll just go ahead and give the person a shout out and everybody that wants to.
Yeah, let's bring the raid to whoever it was. Can you post it in stream chat and we'll just do an individual raid? I think we had to do this last time.
We did, yeah.
Can you do ! raid? Does that work?
No, because that's usually
That's
command
commands,
versus
It's
if any of the mods were an editor, then we could do it that way where they just give us the name and then we go do that. But yeah.
Right.
This is an old friend of mine that I ended up meeting through another old friend of mine. Big time.
Holy shit.
And
Neverwinter Nights. Get the fuck out of here.
Neverwinter Nights. I literally spent before when I was waiting for y'all's stream and everything, I was talking with him and I got into a full-on 3-hour conversation while he is playing Baldur's Gate 3 solely on the Elvish Pantheon.
That's so badass.
Yeah, this is definitely a big D&D type dude, so we're going to send the love on over to him for sure.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, so really quick before we get on out here, let me just go ahead and do the command. Read out. There we go.
All right, we're gonna bring the love over there, and then we'll see you guys in about an hour or so.
Yep.
Yep. See you in about an hour over on Xavier's channel.
You guys have a good one.
You too. Bay, feel better, buddy. Well, try
Yeah, I
to.
feel better.
Thanks.
Yeah, do try to.
Yeah.